here. Welcome, ladies, welcome. And then again, if you haven't muted your phone, go ahead and mute your phone, and we're gonna kick off. So again, my name is Cass, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with our mission statement, which is our mission is to help women elevate by owning our crown in identity, creativity, and power to build fulfilling lifestyles through passions. We uplift through our mind, body, and soul. And that is absolutely amazing. Like for me to have a group of women that are connecting together to really own who you are, own your identity, own, what way you're moving in is absolutely everything for me. Again, my name is Cass. I'm one of the queen leaders of this amazing group called Rain. Absolutely blessed to have every single one of you ladies on the call tonight with us. This group means absolutely the world to me. It's more than just a sisterhood. I'm sure somebody hit you up and invited you into a sisterhood. But for me, this has really been something that's helped me identify myself. For me, my journey, I actually started with Rain a year and a half ago. But my journey truly started about 7 years ago. So I connected with my friend Amanda, who's in the bottom with me, sitting there praising. And I was on a journey of just trying to find myself and identify myself. She plugged me in with some amazing group ladies at the time. And that was something that I was truly looking for because I was so lost in who I was. But at that time, we also started she was already on her journey in Christ, but I was on my journey to finding who I was in Christ and to really just finding who I was as a human. So I also at that time started my nutrition plan. And within that nutrition plan, I actually went from a size 13 all the way down. I pulled out the pants to a size 2. I lost 20 pounds in my first 2 months, which is absolutely incredible. And with that, we ask that all of you ladies mute your phones when you join in too. And with my weight loss journey, I actually was able to change it up, put on some healthy weight. I actually put on my booty back, my thighs back, and really my confidence back. And I'm so excited about that because I've been able to plug that in and build a part-time business by doing that. I like to travel. I like to do a lot of things outside of that. And with my actual side hustle of helping others feel better about who they are, I've been able to build a business with that and pay for all of my travel expenses. I often pay for my bills. My goal is to pay for my household bills out of my side hustle and not my main job. And with that, I've also have learned who I am. My whole mindset has completely shifted. Personal development has been everything on this journey. Tonight's topic is about insecurities. And I was thinking about, wow, over the course of being a part of this group, how many insecurities have you overcame? From things like wearing curly hair at work, which one of the pictures, so crazy that Amanda has a picture of me with curly hair. 2 pictures, actually. I was so uncomfortable with that. That was an insecurity. Down to an insecurity of letting go of a man that I really thought I was into. And I used to be the type of girl that would be like, if I stop talking to him, I'm going to be single. But being a part of this group has really helped me identify who I am and own my voice. So with that, I definitely want to move us into our Rain testimony or our commitment. Throughout this call, you may hear women share from their heart, and we really want you to know that whatever you share within Rain, within our sisterhood, is 100% between us. It's nothing that's going to be shared. Like one of our queen leaders says, it's a complete pinky promise. So in this, when I read out the blank spot, when I say my name, you're going to say your name to yourself. You're going to keep your line muted, but go ahead and say your name. So as a woman of Rain, I, Cassandra, pledge to strive for excellence in my pursuit to be a strong and loving woman. I will fight to be better in all aspects of my life with help and support from the Rain family. I will be responsible to the tasks that I commit to within Rain and let my integrity show through my actions. Understand that change starts from within. I commit to proper nutrition and fitness for the health and wellness of my body. As I look in the mirror to humble myself, I will become a better support to others and always have their best interests at heart. I commit to the confidentiality of Rain and understand that the information I learn from my involvement will stay within our group. I walk in the name of love to the best of my ability. And this is absolutely amazing. You might see ladies on this call that you've known for a while. Like I said earlier, I have somebody that I work with on here, and I want everybody to know that you're always protected, and we want to uplift you and love you within that. So we take this to heart. With that being said, I want to introduce our queen leader that's going to be kicking off our call tonight. She's somebody that's beyond special to me. She was the woman that found me in one of my darkest places, and she's been somebody that's loved me through everything. I'm actually getting emotional because when I think about the topic tonight, it's about insecurities, and she's somebody that uplifts me and pushes me through those. I have a hard time owning who I am, owning my voice, and being a strong woman. And she does the littlest things just to recognize me and say, hey, keep going. keep being you, keep shining. Don't let nobody pull you down. And that means the world to me. And I know that she's going to touch every single one of you. So without further ado, Miss Amanda Marshall.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cass. What a powerful start, ladies. I am so excited to connect with each of you and really us to grow together. At the end of the day, you know, we each have our own insecurities. We each have our own strengths, weaknesses, lives, problems, ups, downs, mountains to climb. But the beautiful thing is really coming together and rising together, you know, and that's something that Cass and I have absolutely been able to do. I'm so grateful for your leadership, Cass. Thank you for opening us up so powerfully. And we have so many queens that you'll get to also connect with and hear from, because every story matters. We really, in this call, you're going to hear from other women, you know, after we go through our topic. And it was just on my heart to share that that's a space for you to also rise into. Like every woman that's on this call tonight, including myself, started out just joining a women's group, trying to figure out what was good, trying to figure out how we could grow, and then ended up deciding to turn our pain into purpose. And now we're on here sharing our testimonies, which is so, so beautiful. So thank you each for joining. So excited to connect with you all and really grow. So my name is Amanda Marshall. I have, you know, really been inside of women's empowerment for some time now, really, you know, choosing to rise and become honestly the light that I needed. I was in such a dark place in my life that I wanted to be what I so desperately needed at night. And I knew there wasn't, for me in my life, anybody to be there for me. So I started, you know, out just helping women, really choosing to show that there's a different path. I feel like the world gives us so many labels. You know, there's this sex theme around us that we're worthy of sex, and we've actually adopted that philosophy over time. So instead of, you know, fighting against the thoughts of that we're sexual beings, we've really embraced it and decided to, you know, why not be a vixen? Why not go out there and show off your sexy and own this so it can no longer be a label? And so I tried to, you know, rise up against, but also show what it means to be sexy, classy, powerful, respectful, and really slay in your lane. I believe that it's really great to want to feel good, want to look good, want to rise. But I think it's very important that we're not using those things as validation factors. So I started, you know, being a part of this really awesome gym here locally in Phoenix. Honestly, I was only doing it because I wanted the girl who invited me to come to my women empowerment events. So I, you know, didn't know what it was like to take care of myself through self-love, through nutrition and fitness. I just knew that I needed a different mindset, and I was wanting to love myself more than I was really trying to get other people to love me. I don't know if you've been in that place, but I used to seek a man to love me more than I did. I was constantly seeking other things outside of myself to validate me. And, you know, coming to this gym taught me the power of nutrition and fitness. I've been able to drop 23 pounds, put on 27 pounds of healthy weight. Honestly, the results are incredible, but I can tell you right now, it's the woman that I am that I'm most proud of. I'm a woman of my word. I believe that that's all that we have, you know, and although we all make mistakes and you can't always meet every single promise, even if you try, you can't be a people pleaser. But at the end of the day, there's nothing better than going to bed at night knowing that I'm proud of the woman that I am, the woman that I'm continuing to strive to be. This is my incredible Izzy here. Absolutely amazing man of God that's really just blessed my life tremendously. I can tell you, ladies, that everything you desire is out there. Every single thing you desire, but it really takes not only just an unwillingness to settle, but it also takes an unwillingness to have it your way. Like you have to let go of having your way, and that's the only way that you'll be able to get everything that you absolutely deserve. So I'm so excited to get into our topic because I know that we each fight through insecurities. There is an internal mirror inside of every single one of us that's showing us a reflection. It's showing us actually a distorted reflection of who we think we are. Something in our past, something that somebody has told us, has labeled us in a way that makes us think that's who we are. Some of us are striving for things in our life simply to meet an insecurity, to fill a void inside that we're completely unaware of. I know for me, my inner mirror was so broken that I was constantly seeking external things to help to make me feel better. I didn't know who I was, and so therefore I was constantly seeking something outside of me to make me feel worthy and make me feel complete. Now, I don't know if you have ever been there, but fighting to get a man to love you, fighting to, have him meet the needs that you need, were one of the biggest places that I lost myself. I constantly was seeking somebody else to validate who I was, that I consistently put myself in unworthy situations. I truly believe that anytime we try to get external things to validate us, we will always leave ourselves broken. We will always fall into a place where we're constantly trying to meet an insecurity. Another thing where insecurity will really bring you to is comparison. Looking at another woman, checking out her profile, wondering why she's getting more likes than you because, girl, she ain't even as cute as you. We've all been there at one place, shape, or form, looking at other people. I can tell you the comparison game only does two things, and neither of them serve us. It either makes you feel unworthy because that woman, that man, that bank account, that house, whatever you're comparing is better than yours. So it makes you feel less than, or it brings a proud spirit over you and arrogance, feeling like you're better than. And neither of them will serve you, because if you think that you're better than something, then it's keeping you stagnant to being everything that you can become. And I know for me personally, my insecurities have absolutely impacted me, especially in the modeling world. I used to be a model. I went hard to be a model. It was my life. It was my identity. It was my everything. It's all that I knew that made me feel good. But in it, I was constantly judging myself. I was constantly judging other women. I was constantly trying to be better than and make sure I was the next best thing. And that only led me to taking off more clothes and getting involved with the wrong people. It only consistently took my life in a way that I wasn't happy at the end of the day. It put a mask over who I was because the pictures were so beautiful and the people looking in thought I had it all together, but really at night, I was going to bed, sleeping with the enemy, being with a man who was very abusive. I had the life because he was a rapper, and I looked like it looked good on the outside, but really on the inside, it was dark. And I honestly was just in a space that I could just be honestly dead inside. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the exterior looks like. The house can be beautiful. How many times have we seen a movie where the house is beautiful, they got everything, they're slaying, they have Power is a prime example of this, y'all. Power, they got everything. Ghost is running everything. He's got his club. It looks like everything's all good. Tasha looks like she has the best life ever, but really her man is sleeping with another woman. Their house is broken. Their kids are turning against each other. Like, this is just a reflection of what, when we look on the outside and we don't see what's in the inside, really looks like. Like, that's the truth. And so instead of comparing your story with my story or your story with TV shows, really think about you. How is your internal mirror impacting you? What are the things that you're seeking to make yourself feel whole? There's something. And maybe it's not a man, maybe it's not a job, maybe it's not money. But until we actually are honest and real with ourselves about the things that are insecurities for us, we will only continue to drive forward towards them. And insecurity is truly a false reality. It's something that we go to seek for validation, to feel better. It's like sex with a man. You feel like you want him if you're not married, maybe you're not together. It just, in that moment, it feels like it's going to satisfy you, and it does temporarily. But how many times are we seeking temporary satisfactions for permanent fulfillment? We're seeking permanent fulfillment, but because you're only getting temporary satisfactions, you always are empty again. You're always going back for more to get another hit because you need to have the feeling of complete again, but it's only going to leave you broken again. Honestly, ladies, I truly believe, just looking over my life, that the most power, healing, and strength that I've gotten is by fasting. It literally by taking away the things that I need, that I think that I need. Because if you're dependent on that thing, it controls you. If you're dependent on that man, he will control you. If you're dependent on buying a new purse because you feel better when you hit the mall and you go and you get your nails done, your hair done, when you think that you're so fancy in that, ladies, it's not a diss, because I love shopping. I love getting my nails done. The coronavirus had me tripping over here. I was over here trying to hold on to every nail that I had, right? So I'm not dissing the things that you do, but you got to know why you do them. You got to be clear, because if it's validating your identity, then you really don't need it. In Rain, we're about healing. In Rain, we're about growing. In Rain, we're about using our pain for power to turn it into purpose to be better women, to be more than just your pretty face on Instagram. Because so many people are out there hurting. We're hurting, but we continue to repeat cycles of experiences because we're unwilling to be real with ourselves. Us being unreal with ourselves is not going to truly help anybody. It might give you a day. You might feel better for that day, but what about tomorrow, sis? Are you going to continue recycling your experiences to put yourself back in the same situation over and over and over again, knowing deep down inside that you don't feel the peace that you really desire, knowing deep down inside that you don't have the happiness, the identity? Because guess what? When we rise above our insecurities, we separate ourselves. We separate ourselves from the standard. We separate ourselves from the ordinary, from the mediocre. And in separation, it gets lonely. In separation, when we're not seeking temporary satisfactions, we find ourselves in a place that truly isolates us, and it's scary. And our friends will start turning their back, saying that we're changing. But guess what? When you want to go to a new dimension in life, you have to be okay with those that can't go with you. If we're constantly seeking to validate our insecurities, you're going to be left in a broken place over and over and over again. But let me say something else, because we keep it real here at Rain. Some insecurities are going to continue to go with you forever. It's important that we look down deep inside of why you have those insecurities. So for me personally, I was rejected, abandoned as a child. I felt like I wasn't loved. Yes, my mom loved me, but in my experiences of the things that I went through, I felt like I wasn't loved. My dad was the most amazing man, but he wasn't there a lot of the times. And so instead of blaming him or my mom, I started to look down on the realness of what was going on with me. How did the absence of my father and the anger of my mother impact the little girl inside of me? And I learned that I have a lot of rejection and abandonment issues. And because of those rejection and abandonment issues, the all-powerful Amanda, to protect the little girl, decided to not need anybody. So now I have trust issues. I don't need anybody. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm a true roaring lion woman. I'm like somebody who doesn't need anyone. Well, that's a lie. That's a false persona that I was meeting against my insecurities. And I had to be real with myself. I had to start to let go of the story. I had to start seeking healing through forgiveness. I had to start asking my mom and dad why, so that I could understand, not because I needed an answer, but because I needed to understand, why am I the way that I am? God give me the insight to know how I could turn this thing around. And he truly did that. But I also know that when my husband, who's absolutely incredible, decides to stay up too late at night and play games and fall asleep on the couch, that it causes an insecurity in me saying, why didn't he come to bed last night? Okay, so let's keep it 100. The insecurity continues to show up because the validation of me wanting to feel needed and secured all the time is still there. I can't get rid of it. As much personal development as I do, as much healing as I've done, the awareness of knowing I have abandonment and rejection issues, I still feel them. They still come up in the stupidest ways. And so I have to be real with myself. But until you're real with yourself, you can't ever help other people to be real with you. Me being able to say, this is my thing. I talk to my husband, if you stay downstairs for too long, I'm going to start tripping. We're going to start fighting. What you want? You want to meet my insecurity and make sure you're in the bed by 3 a.m. or you want me to wake up and fight you at night? Like, what do you want? How do you want to do this thing, right? I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm actually really serious. My husband knows I'm just so transparent. I need you to like my pictures on Facebook. I need you to pay attention to me on Instagram. If I see that you're on Instagram and you don't like my picture, I feel some kind of way. How hard is it just to double tap one time? It wasn't that my husband didn't do those things. It was because it was an insecurity in a previous relationship. He never liked my pictures, and he always liked other women's pictures. So it developed an insecurity in me, and trust and believe, I don't care how many likes you have on your post, girl. You know if your man didn't like it. I need to be following you. You need to be following me. I need to see your life. And you know, the beautiful thing is by my transparency and not pulling these things on my husband and making him think that he's wrong and hiding it and being afraid of my insecurity, I own my shit. Excuse my language. I own my stuff. I'm 100 with myself. So therefore now I don't care who thinks what. If you're 100 with yourself, sis, you can be 100 with anybody because nobody will have anything on you. It's like, if I own it, now you can't use it against me because I already told you about it. And that's the only way that true marriage is gonna work, is by being transparent. This is not a game. This isn't no little hookup, how long can I keep you? This is for the rest of our lives. But before I got here, I needed to get there with myself. So if you're in a single season, I just wanna say, sis, you are right where you need to be. Because marriage is a whole nother dimension of life. It'll pull you, it'll take you to heights, but it'll also take you to other levels that you have to climb a mountain. Every season of life takes a pull, takes a stretching, takes growth. And sometimes we think we're ready for things when we really are not. Trust the process. If you don't have it yet, it's because you're not ready yet. Learn the lesson that you need to learn right now, so when you do get it, you can keep it. And you don't have to run around trying to meet your insecurities and try to make sure you have your perfect makeup on and you have to have everything together. No. When you get to this level of peace, you have security because you're not trying to meet the demands of the enemy that continues to tell you that you need things that you don't. And so now my husband will make sure he likes my pictures because it makes me feel good. He'll make sure he's in the bed by a certain time. If he accidentally falls asleep, I get to forgive him, but I know that he makes the effort. And there's things that he needs. He needs me to stop in my day and just be with him, hold him, make sure that he knows that I love him, rub his back, take time out of my day to make sure that he's the only thing that I'm focusing on. And those aren't just insecurities, those are a love language. So we know each other's love language, but there also are insecurities from the past that show up in that too. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because you get to rise above your insecurities, but sometimes it's just by owning them. Sometimes it's just by saying, this is my stuff, bro. Like, this is what I come with, and I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to try to get better, and I'm not going to try to pull you into my crap, but I'm going to need your help in my healing. I'm going to need you to help me to overcome the things that I felt like were going to defeat me forever. And that's when you find wholeness. That's when you find the next level within yourself, and we're never going to make it. The most beautiful thing that I have learned in my life is that there's always another level, so I don't have it all right now. I don't have all the wisdom. I don't have all the guidance. I can only share my story. I can only share what I've been through, and I pray that it blesses you. At the end of the day, I definitely know that we all rise together. We all have a story, and we get to beat these insecurities, sis, because they're running too much of our lives. It's very, very important we check out that inner mirror, that we realize that it's broken, that we start to allow the pieces to come together so we can become, that we can see the picture right, because God is working all things together for good. The rape, the molestation, the father that left, the abandonment issues, the mother that was abusive, the parents that were on drugs, the boyfriend who slapped you upside your head, the man who raped, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, but God can use that thing together for good. But if you're looking inside of a mirror that's broken, it's going to give you this lie time after time and time again. And you're going to go after things that you don't need to validate you. But when you start to allow those things to piece together and realize that you have a beautiful portrait in every single one of your chapters in your life, the good and the bad all come together to make you. And if you didn't have the testimony that you have, you wouldn't be able to impact those that you need to impact. And when you know that, you're able to rise in your power. You're able to turn your pain into purpose and decide to rise above anything that tells you you're not, while you're embracing that at the same time. It's important that we know who we are, but we also know who we're not. And we don't try to be something that we're not. And I know there's so many powerful women that are inside of Reign that have a powerful testimony in this. And I'm excited to go ahead and turn the call over to my incredible friend. She was a roommate of mine at one time. We went through our single season together. I can tell you that she's continuing to rise above her insecurities, that she's continuing to own her crown and decide that she's going to know who she is, not apologize for who she is, but continue to rise in her greatness. And I absolutely honor her for that. So please welcome my incredible friend, Kelvana.
Thank you. So when I was thinking about like insecurities, I was thinking about all the things like with myself growing up. I've always been like a words of affirmation person, and we talked about like love languages and brain and like where they develop, and I definitely think mine developed from my parents. Like, you know, all the praise, like the good grades, all the things like that. I did some really weird stuff that most kids would probably get picked on, but it was okay for me growing up. Like, I was in marching band, like clarinet, you know, so that's a thing that could bring up an insecurity, like, oh, you're a nerd, you're in the honors classes, all those types of things. But really, I think my biggest insecurity within myself came as an adult, like realizing that I did not own my voice as much as I could. Like, I don't even remember myself before I talked as much as I do now. I'm like, what did I do with all those petty thoughts that I had in my mind, like not sharing my voice and speaking out loud? But coming around this community for sure played a part in that. So I had the physical outlook of wanting to change my body. So having that insecurity with that. I got on my nutrition plan, I lost 30 pounds. So that was good. That helped with definitely building confidence. But there's another level of confidence that you come across when you own who you are, like Amanda was saying. And I think one of the biggest insecurities I've had recently is stepping out of the norm. Like in the top right hand, there's the pain and sit classes that I do, and I wrap that around my side hustle. Like that is a part of my side hustle, living a healthy lifestyle. We're part of a healthy girl gang. So doing that, even coming up with that idea and trying to put that into an event, it brought up some insecurities. Because like, what if they don't like it? You know, most women want to sit blind while they paint. They don't want to go the healthy route. But something that I've learned from this community is definitely like, what's for you is for you. Your tribe, you know, there's people that want what you have to offer. So just stand powerfully in that and create within that space. So that is a little bit of my story and my share. I'm going to pass it over to Candace.
Hi! I am so excited about this topic because I really don't feel like I was this Candace to like people out there before I surrounded myself around all these beautiful women. I am a Rain OG, so I've been around for 3 years. I've been working on myself. I will say that like when I was younger, I was the girl that hung out with everybody, but it kind of felt like I was too black for the white girls and too white for the black girls. So I'm all over the place. You can already tell I have a personality. So people already kind of look at me like, who in the heck is this girl? But I will say that getting around this group of women and going to the workout that Amanda talked about earlier, it really put a mirror up in front of me, and it helped me to be able to own myself, to understand why I do certain things that are kind of crazy, and really just embrace who I am. For a while, Calvana and Amanda would always have to tell me when someone would compliment me on something, I'd be like, oh yeah, I got this dress for $5. You know, it's like, girl, thank you, you know, like just say thank you. This is what you get to embrace about yourself. So I'm just so happy about this topic because I don't think that I would be this open. I don't think that I really would have worked on the little things that I didn't even know I was insecure about. So I'm just so excited that you guys joined. You get bomb results by being around these ladies, not just confidence, honey, but you get a slim waist, you get thick, down 3% body fat, up 20%, 20 pounds of healthy weight. I always mess it up. But and a little bit of money in my pocket. So come around us, you get some confidence, you get some thickness, and your life is going to be amazing.
Hey ladies, my name is Sarah. I've been a part of this amazing sisterhood for 2 years now. And really before starting on my personal self-love journey, I was at a point where at early 20s, I just let myself go in so many different areas of my life, including what I was fueling my body with and including how I was taking care of my body physically. And so I got to a point like in my life where I just felt super insecure about the way that I looked because I wasn't taking care of it. And so I was hiding behind my clothes. I was buying clothes that were big, like sizes bigger than what I truly was, because I didn't feel comfortable. And that like bled into different parts of my life, including me sharing who I am and allowing others to see me for me. And so being a part of this amazing sisterhood, the sisters truly embraced me and allowed me to jump on my nutrition plan and start taking care of myself like all over again. And within the first 90 days of me being on my nutrition plan, I'm 22 pounds. And that is amazing, only just the weight, but me shedding that first and taking care of myself first, it allowed me to truly look into what else was I hiding in my life? What else wasn't I showing? What else wasn't I showcasing? What else was I really rifling in my life? And by being a sisterhood, I got to learn and truly dig deep into the insecurities that might have stemmed from when I was little, with not having my dad as a part of my life, really, with, just growing up with my sisters and my mom, with, like not finding who I was creatively, but in working with that, I not only got to find that for myself, now like I post videos of myself dancing, of myself painting, of my friends and loved ones, because I really was able to work through and find who I am, and being able to now pass that forward to the other women and other queens in my life is what's really been important to me and something I truly love. And the fact that I'm able to make an extra income. I've been a student for the last like 2.5, 3 years, and having an extra income while doing this around building a sisterhood in a community has been absolutely amazing. And just knowing that I'm helping other queens unveil their insecurities has been an absolute blessing.
Hi, ladies. My name is Raquel. First and foremost, my heart is racing so hard. This is a really big topic for me, so it's something that I'm excited to share about. I have 2 beautiful children, so for a very long time when my children came in my life, my identity revolved about my children. When I came into Reign, I'm gonna cry. I came in broken. I did not know who I was. I was a mother first and foremost and overall, but I was in such a dark space in my life mentally. I put myself in a shelter because I was like, I was in an industry that I used to work in the club industry. So it was a really negative industry. And I put my kids in a shelter to keep them away from who I was. And I sheltered them around who I was for so long. For about 10 years, I worked in the club industry. I was really involved in modeling and promotional, and I was really seeking validation from abandonment issues because I didn't have my dad growing up. And it's something that I never really dealt with until now. But I'm so grateful because this group of women has helped for me in so many ways. And this is just one of the layers, And within that, I've done the work. I've forgiven my dad. I've forgiven my mom. I've forgiven myself. And I've learned to break out of that shell, become and own who I am and be free. I went through a season where I had a nickname. I was known as Ms. Dangerous, and that tells you a lot. I was in the club industry. I was bitchy. I was moody. I thought I was at the top of the line. I did club lines, all of that, right? And that was my way of getting validation. I thought that I was on top of things because of who I was. And I validated myself, and I got validation from being a model and being a sex symbol and speaking loudly about sex and owning my voice in that sense. But really what I was masking was my loneliness, my insecurities. I had my daughter out of marriage, and then I got pregnant with my son out of marriage. And I was in a really dark relationship where I felt like I had to settle for that person because it was the best that was ever going to get for me. I had 2 kids with 2 different men. Who is ever going to want me? That was my thought, right? And it hurts to say because now it hurts to think that I thought that low of myself, And so I just encourage you guys, do the work, rising through the insecurities. I've been able to step up and be a powerful person. I help people heal. I help people work through their issues. I am a better version of myself and a better example for my children because I own who I was and I'm stepping powerful into who I am. Today I get to build a business through my sisterhood with these amazing women alongside, and I get to do it powerfully because I'm confident in myself. I own my insecurities. I'm very transparent. I speak my truth, but I'm proud of who I am. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Raquel. It's been amazing to see Raquel go through this transformation. Like, I remember where she was when she came in, and to see her grow, it literally, like, I'm not gonna cry, but like it really like warms my heart because she has fought through so much. So my name is Jenny. This topic, like most of the women in here, is the reason why I am here. When I was introduced into this community, I was so lost, so broken, so depressed, so insecure. I remember before I got on my nutrition plan, looking in the mirror at myself, and I'm like, how did you let yourself get this bad? I didn't know who I was looking at in the mirror anymore. And that was such a hard thing for me to acknowledge, that I didn't love myself. I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't know that I was worthy. I never felt like I was enough. I was so broken. And I actually met this community because I went to a women's empowerment event, and it was a men's panel. And I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I kept thinking, why me? Why me? What did I do? I was pointing the finger at myself, even though he didn't say it was me. He said that he wasn't ready for a relationship. And I went to this men's panel, and I was like, oh my gosh, men have issues too. Like, I don't know why, but it was always just me and my insecurities, thinking that I wasn't enough for any man. And I was seeking a man because of the relationship I didn't have with my father at the time. But I sat down with Amanda, got on my nutrition plan. I lost 24 pounds from a size 16 to a size 9. And I can tell you, ladies, that yes, the weight loss is amazing, but what the weight loss did for me is it started shedding those layers of insecurity, because I started to see who the hell I am and who I'm created to be. My body and my insecurity with my looks held me back from so much in my life. And I'm so grateful for this community, because I would not be where I am. I wouldn't love myself. I wouldn't have confidence. I wouldn't think, when people call me pretty, now I think it's an insult, because I'm like, I'm beautiful, get it right. So that's something that I've never felt before. And I'm just so grateful to be on this journey and with this sisterhood for the past 3 years. And I am so excited because we have some amazing things planned for all of you on this call and anybody that you guys know. What we are doing is, we on Monday have a self-love challenge. So what does that mean? So our self-love challenge is all done in an app. It's a group chat. We provide one-on-one support and accountability. We have weekly topics just like this. We do them Monday nights. They're usually an hour. We had one, the last challenge, that was 2 hours because this pandemic gave us some time. But it's been amazing to connect with women on a deeper level. We have different topics like men, sex, soul ties, healthy boundaries, communication, finances, like so many different topics that we all are struggling with. And we get to take that pain, like Amanda was talking about, and turn it into power. We have our motivation, support, the instructional workouts. So all the workouts you can do at home, we show you how to do them. We're going to be doing some of them live with you guys in this next challenge. We give you guys nutrition tips. We have optional customized nutrition plans if you're looking to lose weight, gain weight, energy. And it's only $10 to join. And there's a cash prize at the end. So we have winners for best overall transformation based off of your before and after pictures. And what's incredible is that, yes, the weight loss, the weight gain, the energy is great, but like hearing women talk about how they're growing through their insecurities through this transformation is everything for us. So that starts next week, Monday. So you can get with the queen leader who invited you, get more details around that. And then we're just going to give you some next steps. So what's next for you? So after this call, get with the queen leader who invited you to this call and let her know how you want to join. We have so many different ways that you can join us, and you just get to pick what works for you. So the first one is to come to our Zoom next week, Wednesday as well. We're having these every single Wednesday, and the topic is different every single week. So you can plug in every week to these Zoom calls. And then we also have small groups. So what small groups are? They're group chats for connection after this Queen Connect call. So we're going to take what we're talking about in the call, and you're going to break out into a small group and really just dive deeper with a queen leader in a worksheet with other participants as well. This is where I honestly found the most growth through my journey, is that I was doing these worksheets and I was really reflecting on, what insecurities do I have? How do I have to grow through them? Where did that insecurity stem from? Is it from my dad? Is it from my mom? Is it from a friend who put a label on me and I accepted that as my truth, but it's really not? Then the next way that you guys can join is to do a one-on-one elevation call with the person who invited you. So really just talk like, hey, where are you at in your life? Your mind, body, soul, like what are you trying to work on? And then we can plug you into the sisterhood wherever that fits you. So it's just a conversation to say, this is where I'm at and this is where I want to go. And then we can plug you into the event that works best for your goals. And then the one that like hits me the deepest right now is that you can lock arms with our vision and our mission to impact women's lives by growing our sisterhood and owning your own business. So I lost the weight and I had people around me just asking for help. So I just started helping my friends and family do what I do. And before I know it, I have a side hustle. Right now, if any of you guys follow me on social media, you know I'm obsessed with the protein donuts that I'm making. Never in a million years did I think making donuts was going to be fun. But it's something that I'm so grateful for because as a teacher, they're right now going to be basing part of my pay for the end of the year on the test scores that the students got in third quarter. And there was so much going on in the world and our kids did not do well. So I now have to jump through hoops at work to get money that's supposed to just be given to us. So knowing that I have a side hustle that has my back and I'm making an impact while I'm doing it is everything for me because I don't have to worry whether or not I'm going to be able to make my rent payment or to buy groceries. It's something that when I started helping people, I didn't know I was going to need it at this time. So that's something that's available for you guys too. But what we really just want you to do is to reach back out with your queen leader and tell her, how do you want to be connected? Any of those options work. You just get to plug in where you feel most comfortable and what works for your life right now. So I'm so thankful that all of you beautiful ladies were able to be on the call. I was flipping through and I'm like, man, our sisterhood is so beautiful. But we appreciate you guys joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys next week and make sure that you guys get with your queen leader right after this.